All right. Good evening, Spanky. Good evening.
Good evening sa libo-libong nakikinig dito sa Pilipinas at sa milyon-milyon nakikinig sa buong mundo na mga microbes na nakikinig sa atin.
New look New look.
Naligo na ako after 10 months. Yan na. Tinali ko lang.
Tinali mo lang. Ano ka na? Sigal. Ano man?
Oh my God, huwag si Sigal.
Huwag si Sigal. Sino?
Sino ba?
Si Enriquez.
Joe Biden.
Pareho ka ni Aidan eh. Si Aidan.
Okay, sandali
sige. Share ko na.
Nawala na talaga yung bro.
Ano?
Nawala na talaga yung watch party.
Tinanggal nila, no?
Watch the pod. Nawala na talaga yung bro. Nawala na talaga yung watch party. Tinanggal nila, no?
Hello, good evening to all those watching on the live stream. Hi, guys.
Yeah, we're trying to fix what Zuckerberg keeps on messing up, man. Crazy. Share this video with friends. So how do you do that? Oh, wala naman.
Wala. Share lang.
Wala. Nakalagay. So I'm here, live stream, and then it says you share the video with friends. I'm pressing it, but nothing's happening.
Wala siyang friends.
Baka wala kang friends.
4,000 4,964.
Ayun.
Kiritan siyempre para ma-block sila pag kailangan block. Sa mga tricycle natin
Oo nga
Kasi tayo tricycle. Sige. Okay.
Hi, Chef Mike.
What are we... How was your date last week? Yeah, I'm sharing it. It's on my... Yeah.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Spanky.
Good evening, sir.
How was your weekend last week?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Valentines yun eh. Stop hurting my feelings.
That was a long weekend last week. So
kayo kamusta? Kasi kayo may CNY, meron kayong Valentines. So wala.
So kami, of course, on Thursday night, we went to Ama and Angkong for the Chinese New Year dinner at home lang, family lang, of course. And then sa Manila, we have to go down to Manila. And then yon. And then the next day, we actually flew to Coron.
Wow.
We flew to Coron in a place called Sunlight Ecotourism Island Resort in partnership with Club. Kompleto in partnership with Club. And maganda kasi travel bubble yung ginawa nila. So they own the plane. Sunlight owns the plane also.
Okay.
So they have their own hangar or check-in counter. Ina-ECD, gano'n. It's a private for the private jets eh. And then it goes straight to Busuanga. Then from Busuanga going to Coron. And then Coron, you take a speedboat ride, going to the island. All in all, from the house to the island is 6 hours. So
how long was the speedboat ride? Ako nahilo ako sa speedboat.
Siguro mga 45 minutes din. 45 minutes. The flight was 1 hour. And then yung sakay ng plane are those people mostly going to the island then. You cannot go down the Coron town, no? Kasi if you're going down, you have to have quarantine, di ba? But this one just passes. So talagang gumawa sila ng bubble route, no? Na hindi ka pwedeng bumaba, etc. So maganda.
So that's why all of you were swabbed. Your kids, kayo ni Rachel.
Yeah, and then ang maganda, meron ng meron ng house visit for the swab.
Yeah.
Oo, medyo mahal lang but I think we also got it from Klook. So they came to the house. The swab, syempre, a bit expensive, no? 3,300.
That's
Plus, that,
RT-PCR.
RT-PCR talaga. Oo.
Yeah.
And then, pay na lang the transpo going to Laguna around Metro
Mm.
Manila. So at least, you know, if you're traveling with the kids, they don't need to go to, testing center. And
Yeah, correct.
it's just additional yun, and it's a bit expensive, kaya nga ang dami talagang nagfe-fake ng ng RT-PCR. Sana po wag niyong i-fake yung swab test. The recent one was in El Nido, di ba? Ang
Yeah.
finake nila was the date
Wait,
ng
pati El Nido may nag-fake na? Di ba
oo.
Boracay yung pinag-uusapan last time?
Oh no,
Grabe
recently
talaga naman.
ang pinake nila, ano
Ano
naman
ba dyan?
sila, negative naman, pero yung date nila hindi pasok sa 48 hours, so finake nila. And obviously, if the LGU is really checking, they'll check to the testing center. Makikita nila, oy, nung isang araw pa pala to. So ang ginawa sa kanila, nahuli sila sa airport. Pina-quarantine sila ng 7 days. You have to stay in a hotel for 7 days. So mas napagastos sila, no? Instead of just
Wait,
getting
question,
another
that's it?
test.
Wala silang ibang penalty? Pucha, dapat yung quarantine mo sa Muntinlupa.
Hindi, yun nga eh.
Oo.
Yun nga yung that's a discussion in the what is the LGU doing, the DOT doing? Kasi nga a lot of people are starting to fake the test, no? And yun lang yung nakakatakot with traveling. Pero assuming everybody's not faking the test, that should be fine, no, to travel talaga to the destination. So
Okay lang mag-fake ng report card, 'di ba? Nung panahon natin, okay lang mag-fake ng class card, okay lang kumuha ng leakage kasi you don't harm anyone but yourself. Pero
yes.
to pare, pupunta ka doon tapos hindi mo alam, sakit ka na pala. You can become a one person typhoid Mary, a super spreader all by yourself. And why?
Oo, di
Because
ba?
nagtitipid ka lang. Di ba?
Yes,
Kung
oo.
nagtitipid ka, di wag ka lumabas ng bahay. Punyeta. Stupid talaga ng mga Pilipino minsan. I swear.
Oo nga. Kaya nga.
Mm.
And yun. So at least the travel bubble to Coron. Ay, ang mga naka-travel bubble ngayon is Coron, may El Nido, Boracay, and then Bohol started to open up also, 'di ba? Pero nga, learning from Cebu, no. We had a friend from Cebu. Nagtumaas yung cases nila kasi nga nag-lax nung nag-modify GCQ sila.
Mm.
Nag-lax from 10 cases per day, nag 200 na ulit. So, this is a good discussion for us, no, as Manila is considering modified GCQ, 'di ba? This March.
Baka actually, mga balita-balita last week, kahit by this Monday
Ibubuksan
As in,
nila. Oo.
yeah, nag-declare sila kasi, alam mo, they're floating the idea already of all of these things, di ba? Yung siguro pinaka-sexy or pinaka-attractive yung magbubukas yung mga sinihan. Because the movie theaters are the magnets for the malls. Once you create that impression it's okay to watch a movie, maybe you're like 3 or 4 seats apart, and I'm pretty certain that if we're talking about SM Supermalls, grabe yan. They've been so strict since the beginning of the quarantine. Sobrang OC yan. So I actually feel safe, right? But
Yes.
the caveat being that you have to continue. Obviously, you'll remove your shield while watching the movie, but you'll have to wear your mask at all times. It's like flying. Nung lumipad ba kayo, naka-shield kayo or naka-face mask lang kayo sa aeroplano?
Oo, they're required the shield, no, on the flight. And syempre, minsan may mga taong ayaw mag-shield kasi inconvenient nga. But naman, the stewardess or the crew always remind people to wear the shield. So it's really
So,
safe naman.
naka-mask, naka-shield for the
Throughout
flight.
the flight. Throughout the flight. So, ang concern naman namin was the kids eh. So, yung kids, as long as naintindihan naman nila, okay naman. Wala naman sila reklamo with, si Yugi lang. Si Yugi lang yung Pero, pag nasabihan na naman na sila, okay na. And I noticed during the flight, kasi there were a lot of kids actually, during the flight. It's the kids na yung nagtatanggal ng mask eh. Kasi the adults naman, they understand eh. So, okay naman. Yung lang, Throughout, it was really good, no? It was really safe. Yung may mga questions lang ako when we were on the island.
Ano
Kasi
yan?
when you're
Ano yan?
on the
Ilan kayo sa island? Ilang mga RVs what are they?
okay,
Cottages or
no,
anong
it's
itsura?
water villas. So it's like mga water
Wow. Oh.
villas. So there were 100 water villas, 9 honeymoon na para sa ikaw na isip ko doon eh. Sabi ko, perfect to kay Spanky and his friend, no?
And his
So
nine wives. Nine wives. Kasi nine
9
yung
months.
honeymoon villa.
Kanya-kanya
Oh.
honeymoon villa na may
Oo.
jacuzzi overlooking the sea, ganun.
Yeah.
So 100 villa, it's 50% capacity, no. So mga 50.
Okay.
The island during that time na peak, it's 100 people. So with that, kung kasi buong island yun, no, hindi mo talaga nakikita naman. Yung sunlight before the pandemic, mostly Chinese tourists. Now,
Okay.
siguro half-half na. Filipinos and Chinese. May,
When you
may
talk
local
about
Chinese
Chinese,
pa rin naman eh.
mainland Chinese yan.
Mainland Chinese na nasa Manila.
Okay. Okay.
Mainland na. Kasi may mga
So,
pogos pa rin naman eh, but very limited na, di ba?
So ating mga pogo friends. Maraming pera yan. Oo. Nabubuhay karamihan ng maraming pera yan. Cash magbayad yan. Oo. So sa mga ito yung advice natin kasi malapit na bubukas, di ba? Even I heard the big hotels in Makati, they were very concerned with what happened to Makati Siang, right?
Yes.
And all of them felt the pressure because even an institution like, for example, Manila Pen, sabi nila, nako, baka mahirap. We don't want this to happen. So they've made representations with IATF, with Department of Tourism. It looks like there'll be an announcement very soon that they can accept not hotel booking set not necessarily, but small events which can really inject much needed revenue. Kasi pinapayagan na hindi ba? If small restaurants are allowed to have small events, means when I say small, 15 to 20 people, why not, right? Especially in the bigger establishment with the better and stricter safety standards like the hotels in Makati. So sana matuloy na nga kasi I really feel bad for all of these our friends who work in these hotels. Diba?
Yeah, exactly. And actually nga sa Sunlight, interview ko yung mga tao doon. Sabi nila talaga during the pandemic and lockdown, walang trabaho. But when it opened nung November, they started getting the people. And alam mo yun, it really helps out the community, the people.
Of course, yeah.
Diba? And then, of course, that sustains the travel industry. So yung hotels, dapat rin naman talaga kasi otherwise, yun nga, you'll get the situation like Makati Shangri-La that they'll have to close down, no? And we don't want that to happen.
It's so sad because whenever I pass by Makati Shang, no, because I'm often in Makati, you see it, no? And then you realize, holy shit, it's empty inside.
Grabe,
there's nothing
no?
there. And we're used to this kasi nakita natin, natibag yung Intercon, natibag yung Mandarin. But after a few months, you don't see the buildings anymore. So they sort of escape from your memory. But Shang will be there. Hopefully they'll reopen within the year very soon. But you see it and you realize you're there so often. We go to all the restaurants like Circles. We go to Sage.
Yeah.
It's one of the best hotels in Manila and everything's closed.
Yeah.
So,
and
sana nga hindi na.
Yeah. For me, I work in Procter & Gamble before, 6750. So,
kapitbahay mo yun.
Oo, kapitbahay. All our party life for in Shang Palace, in the hotel there, in the bars there, etc.
Tatanong ko lang 6750 ka.
Yes.
Oh, so ibig mo sabihin hindi ka nag-giraffe? Hindi ka na umabot sa giraffe? Parang yun ang dati. For Gen X 90s kids. Giraffe was the place to go. Hindi ka nag-giraffe o hindi ka pinapayagan ni Rachel noon kasi
bawal. Ayaw ni Rachel.
Pinaka-wild yun. Tapos sa Makati Shang, ang pinaka-club nila that time was called Zoo. ZU.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And ang kwento ko lang kaya naging famous yung Zoo or notorious at one point, yung mga banyo nila, malalaking cubicles. right? So it's not it's a basement. So the whole area where you have the lower ground floor function rooms used to be a giant club called Zoo. This is around 1996, late 90s, around 25 years ago. And ang chismis doon, pag if you want to hook up, hindi mo na kailangan umakyat sa hotel na mag-book ng room. All you have to do is go
Oh.
to one of the cubicles in Zoo and do it.
Talaga?
Yeah. Oh.
Grabe naman
Saya, no?
yan.
Yeah. Okay yan.
Oo nga. Grabe,
I'm,
nag-25-year celebration nga yan eh.
di ba? So, yun. Yun yung mga gawain namin dati. Kasi wala pang SOGO noon. So, sa Zoo.
Sa Zoo.
Do the dirty in the Zoo. So, yun yung mga kwento. So, alam mo, kayo mga Gen Z, huwag kayo masyadong mayabang kasi wala kayong zoo na club na pwede kayo mag-do in the banyu. Okay?
Oo nga eh.
Oh,
Sabi
kami,
ko nga,
tipid pa.
ano kayang party place ng mga Gen Z ngayon? Eh, lahat sila nasa bahay, nasa Discord nila. Pag
Ano?
pwede na kaya lumabas, saan sila lalabas?
Sa bahay. Sa house party. Hindi pa naman sila papayagan.
House party.
But that's a good question. Well, you know, before, a few years before, when Palos was there, Embassy was there, all of these clubs, and Revel, di ba? So sila yun, di ba? Dun yun. Kung mga 90s kids, syempre sa Temple, yan yung mga Venetia, yung mga lugar natin.
Oh, and
Pero wala,
recently,
you know, yeah. Recently, saan ka nag-party?
wala, sa bahay na. Hindi, pero before the pandemic, ano ba yung sa BGC na place? Ano na kaya nangyari doon?
Wala,
Mga party.
bakante. May mga multo. May mga multo.
Grabe
Diba?
naman, hindi naman siguro.
Oh, hindi, bukas yung ano. But you know, Manila Social Club is open, but it's not really a club, right? So, but it's open.
Oo.
You can have small dinners in all of these places, but the clubs can't open. Imagine, all our friends who have bars in Poblacion, Anibao, or even Quezon City or Ortigas, all the bars are now called resto bars.
Oo, resto bars. Wala nang bar, di ba?
Yeah, wait can you excuse me for a minute? Meron lang ako Mr. Speedy So, ayun. So, ang nangyari, kwento ko lang to kasi may balita na naman tayo sa mga, hindi ba there was for a while, there was this mga battles between the millennials and the Gen X, di ba?
Yes.
Well, not to offend anyone, but just relate what we were calling each other, right? We were fond of calling our millennial friends cupcakes. Kasi malambot sila, di ba? Mabilis silang bumigay, di ba? And the funny thing is now, yung away-away, alam mo, between millennials na and Gen X. Yun na.
Bakit?
And wala. It's a creation of social media. Diba? Kasi iba ikaw, your kids are Gen Z. I'm sorry, your kids are Gen Z. So it's not Gen
Yes.
Z versus millennials. Your kids are Gen Z. They have a totally different approach, totally different media from the millennials, right?
Exactly.
Iba. So feeling nila, yung feeling ng mga millennials sa Gen X, yun ang nararamdaman ng Gen Z sa millennials ngayon. Di ba? So sinong pinaka-steady? Yung mga boomers. Kasi yung mga boomers, galit lang sila sa lahat. Okay, boomer. Ganun lang. Parang yung daddy ni Homer Simpson just shouting at the cloud, damn you! Ganun.
Natatawa ako sa mga anak ko eh. Sabi ko mag-ano kayang Facebook dyan? Anong Facebook? Anong Facebook and Instagram? Hindi rin nila alam mga Google search. Grabe.
Diba? Ganun? You know what I heard? And this came out on CNN, CNN International. Yung emoji na smiley face, yung naiiyak na smiley face, naiiyak sa tawa, I don't know what you call it, crying bawal daw yun, baduy daw yun, sabi ng mga Gen Z.
Bakit?
So they don't use emoji. You know what they use to show that they're dying of laughter? A skull! That's skull emoji! Bungo!
Bungo.
Bungo! Bakit sabi, ba't ganyan? Kasi we died of laughter and we're cool about it. So parang
Ayos.
ganun.
Oo nga. Baka nakaka-relate dyan si Chef Mike. Nakikinig. Chef Mike
So yeah, if you have
Santos.
any ideas. Mike Santos? Siya, ano yan? Kung may susunod pa sa Gen Z, yun si Mike Santos. So Gen XYZ. Si Mike Santos ba yan, ang nangka?
Oo. Yes, of
Paano
course.
yan? Forever young yan. I think Mike's just turned 28 years old or something.
Yun.
He's a very young man, but very accomplished for his age.
Oo. So,
Kanina, nag-show off kanina yan. Nagpadala na naman. Have you tried the burgers? You have, right? The
yes,
Nangka
masarap.
Burgers.
Yeah.
Best damn burgers and best new burgers in Quezon City. Nagpadala, alam mo sino may favorite niyan? Si Chef
Sino?
Sao del Rosario. Chef Sao.
Wow, talaga?
So whenever Chef Mike sends to Chef Sao will not eat whatever. He's not gonna eat his cooking. He's gonna dive in and
Wow.
bite into it's really one of the best. The best. Parang guess mo si Mike kasi marami siyang makikwento sa atin mga scandal niya.
Oo nga. Mukhang
No.
ito yung maraming story
But yeah, to everyone watching, if you can go to on Facebook, it's called Nangka Japanese Steakhouse. But during the kasagsagan nung quarantine, they said not too many people can go out, right? So let's think of a product that's as good as our steaks, as premium as our steaks, and sell it. And he made this, man, it's really one of the best burgers I've tried, period. Period.
Very good. Oo.
So, Nangka Japanese Steakhouse on Facebook, get their burgers. It's spectacular.
Oo, ang ganda pa ng packaging. May mga quotes pa. Si Chef.
Nakakayak, di ba? Minsan naiyak ako pag nababasa ko yung quote. Parang, stop eating burgers.
All right, let's go to our topic. Pero before we go to our topic, what to expect and where to go this summer, let's close the Valentines. We've talking to a lot of our friends in the mga home base, marami pa rin nag-order for delivery. Ano bang balita mo? I think they got a lot of orders for delivery, and most of the dinner or the celebrations are at home, or otherwise they go to Tagaytay. Pero Tagaytay na was sobrang traffic naman no weekend. So
no, let me tell you. I'll give you a perspective from us from Resto PH. It was the best weekend for so many restaurants in a long time.
wow, congrats!
So the restaurants were hitting
Better than
around
December?
7. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're going to compare February 2020 versus February 2021, Valentine's weekend, CNY weekend, we were hitting probably 70, 80s, in some cases 90%. And I'm sure for some restaurants, you got 100% year 2020 versus 2021.
Wow.
But this was again conforming with the strict protocols kasi hindi ka pupuntahan basta-basta kung wala ka nung protocols, yung safety standards, di ba?
Yes.
Your servers are under their face shields and their face masks. So I'm very happy. So congratulations to all the restaurants. House of Wagyu did very well, right? And ang ginawa pa ng House of Wagyu, we made sure we were promoting may restaurant kasi sila sa MOA, sa Ecom Center, sa Prison Plaza.
Bukas yun.
Bukas. And it's got this beautiful view of Manila Bay and the sunset.
Yes.
That was fully booked. Malalayo yung table. So, ang ginawa po ni Corinne, the owner of House of Wagyu, dagdag pa siya mga table. Maaga kumakain yung mga tao. Outdoors. Kasi presko ng Valentine's weekend. Ganda. Beautiful. Yeah.
Pero,
and,
what do you think about, ito nga, Chef Mike was saying we sold a lot of steak kits. Kasi consistent rin, marami rin nag-order for delivery. What do you think? Mas marami ba nag-dine-in? Mas maraming nag-order for delivery?
No, because if you're going, I guess it's the same in terms of revenue. Kasi kung hindi sila nag-dine-in, that 50% that will not dine in, they ordered.
Oo, correct.
Right? Yeah. So, okay. Diba? And ganda pa ng mga packages kasi yung mga I think sila Bizo, they meron pa mga wine along with it. They had roses. So you get this box that essentially it's like a bento box, but it's complete. It's got, like in the case of Nangka, you have your steak kit, you have your sauces, you have your instructions, And that's what a lot of people did. So kung hindi ka lumabas, you still celebrated Valentine's. That's why it's a very good weekend revenue-wise for Valentine's.
Yes. And then I guess a lot of people were strict with the protocol. So congratulations to the
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah, we're very happy. Monday, kasi every Monday nagko-compare notes yung sa Resto PH sa Viber group namin. So una nahihiya pa kasi yung ibang
Oo.
restaurant owners nahiya, parang ayaw nila magsabi na, okay kami ha. We did very well, di ba? And then everyone started chiming in and said, oh, we actually did very well over the Valentine's weekend. So a combination of dining and takeout. So yeah, congratulations, guys. And that's why if we have this momentum that's built on discipline of protocols, if we are relaxed further into MGCQ, then I'm confident that we can do it. Basta disiplina lang. Ilan lang talaga. Huwag tayong mag-relax.
Oo. Pero ang dami we passed by Bonnie High Street. Ang daming tao during Valentine's Day. So hopefully because of the strict safety protocols, ano naman, hindi tumaas yung ano natin, cases, 'di ba?
So far, hindi pa.
Hindi
Ang
pa naman.
average natin, hindi kasi I religiously
Look
track
at it.
this eh.
Oh.
Kulang na lang, may Excel file ako eh. We're averaging 1.7 per
Okay.
day, but this is nationwide. Ang hindi lang sinasabi ng DOH ngayon, siguro, and I'm pretty sure this is because of pressure from the LGUs, kung sinong city or province ang mataas. So,
Yes.
may 1.7 tayo, but if you dig deep in the DOH website, makikita mo naman. Pero
Oo.
yung at a glance, you won't see who's getting a lot of cases. So we don't know if it's Metro Manila, NCR, or Visayas, or Mindanao.
Oo. Wait,
Oo.
let's say hi to beautiful Bambi and
Oh,
Reza Velosa listening to us. And of
our,
course,
our favorite our favorite home chef, Bambi.
favorite home chef. And of
Mm.
course, si Boss Eric D is listening to us.
Ayan.
Laki siguro kita over the weekend. So,
Oo,
thank you.
ako. Mas
Congratulations.
congratulations, Tim Hoan. Diba? Ako, magda-date ako sa Tim Hoan. Date ko sa Tim Hoan, pare, pork buns lang, okay na ako.
Hindi, tsaka yung goose nila, no? Sa Cam's Goose during the Chinese New Year. I'm sure a lot of people
You know
took
what's
out for
good with
delivery.
Tim Hoan? They were one of the first to actually implement their paperless menu. So, pagpasok mo sa Tim Hoan, ito yung kaya finiture namin sila, we did a safety dining video with SM.
Okay.
Yung Tim Hoan, pare, pagpasok mo, you scan the QR code on your phone, kompleto yung menu. Tapos medyo nakakagutom yung menu. So you end up ordering a lot. And you feel safe because you don't want to touch paper now, di ba?
Oh, yes.
Pero nakakagana yun na, hindi, I don't need to hold a menu, a physical menu that may have been touched by so many people. I'm just doing orderless dining or contactless dining from my phone. So Tim Hoan does that very well.
All right.
Tara.
Yes.
Eric, kamusta? So anytime kita tayo mag-pork buns. Ako talaga, yung pork buns alam mo yung pork buns ng Tim Hoans? Nung unang panahon, before Foodie Group brought them in, ang nagdadala sa akin yan you know Jane Chua, right? Between Bites.
Yes. Oo.
And whenever Jane would have to go to Hong Kong for work, isa lang order ko. Pork buns from Tim Hoans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious
So,
is safe. Hashtag.
yeah. So,
Delicious.
follow Jane Chua on TikTok. Kasi parang si Jane TikTok superstar na ngayon.
TikTok superstar nga eh.
Grabe
Pero
si
how's
Jane.
the Chinese New Year? How's the Chinese restaurants naman? Was it more Valentine's this year than Chinese?
The Chinese restaurants did very well, but
Also,
for takeout. Nasa
takeout,
bahay
no?
sila eh. Nasa
Nag-takeout
bahay sila.
talaga, no? Hindi na Yes. Okay.
Halimbawa, kwento ko yung Jade Garden. Si Jade Garden is one of the most beautiful fine dining restaurants. It's in Glorieta, right?
Yes.
But right now, the dining market is roughly like 50-60% of what it was because people are afraid to go to dining with air condition. So, ang ginawa nila, they started having beautiful takeout boxes. Ang specialty ng Jade Garden is suckling pig.
Yes.
So people were ordering and it came in a beautiful box. Hindi lang yun. Pati lohe may takeout.
Wow.
Oh, so
Okay.
kompleto, di ba? Lohig sa salad that you toss up in the air. So they had that. And I'm very happy that a lot of the restaurants have been very creative and very, very attentive to all of these details. So all that's missing are the plating and the servers beside you. But the quality of the food, nandun na eh. Nandun na. No,
Oo,
alam mo
yun.
yung unang days of the pandemic, nung unang days ng GCQ sa atin, sinasabi, parang hindi the same, hindi pareho yung quality, di ba? Kasi siguro sa delivery. But most of the restaurants have done their jobs really well. That what you get at home is essentially the same as what you get at the restaurant. Like Naka, I'm sure sila Eric, ganyan din, di ba? So, yeah, I'm excited. But Anton, ano talaga ako? I'm a dine-in guy, right?
Siyempre, kailangan mo ng
Oh,
ambiance tsaka ng friend.
oh. I love deliveries, but ang
Okay.
ganda eh.
Oo nga. Congratulations again. And let's go to our main topic, no? Summer 2021. That's around the corner. And what to expect, where to go. Now, siguro i-premise lang natin yung discussion natin. Department of Tourism in partnership of Asian Institute of Management, they did a travel survey
No.
on for the Filipinos, no? And do you know what's the number one insight? The number one insight is that traveling is perceived as an answer to keeping your sanity. And
Mm.
yun, a lot of Filipinos are saying, they're really open to travel as long as, same rin, as long as the healthy protocols are observed because you want to be sane, as a way to keep your sanity. And that's a good discussion as a jump point for summer, no? Will a lot of Filipinos travel around and where should people go?
I think personally for because I've had two swabs, I mean, yeah, I'm
Oo.
starting to get used to it, but it's still number one, uncomfortable. Number two, it makes you tense right before you get the results. Naku, baka may nakalusot na virus.
Oo,
Nakaka-tense eh.
yes.
And pangatlo, mahal siya eh, di ba? So I would go to a place or a province that will not require me to take a transportation like a plane. That require me to have a swab. So
Okay.
I'm looking at Batangas. I'm
Okay.
looking at Tagaytay given na yan eh. I'm looking at Pampanga and yan
Yes.
Subic. Subic is so underutilized now.
Oo. Pero what's
Pati
the
Laguna,
requirement ba for Clark or Subic? Do you need a swab test?
kailangan pogi ka. Oh, cute. Matakaw. Ngayon lang. Wala. Wala. You
Wala.
just drive straight through.
Okay.
Pampanga. Speaking from we've been on MGCQ since like October of last year. But everyone still acts like they're in GCQ. So maaga pa rin umuwi, very strict on safety standards, and it's a bit more relaxed. I can say, but the convenience of being able to go to, for example, there are a lot of houses, resort type houses that have been converted the past few years into Airbnbs. So there's one that my cousin went to sa Florida Blanca. Alam mo, Florida Blanca is sort of like off the beaten path in Pampanga.
Yes.
Everyone goes to Clark, everyone goes to Angeles, everyone goes to San Fernando. But Florida Blanca is medyo on wayside, parang Arayat, di ba? There's a beautiful, beautiful compound there that has 3 or 4 individual cottages, freestanding houses that are separated by fences. So, di mo nakikita yung kapitbahay mo.
Yes.
Each cottage has its own, and by cottage I mean each house has its own swimming pool, and you have a beautiful view of the surrounding farmlands and open air, fresh air. It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Hindi ko na
Gan-
maalala ngayon yung pangalan eh. Yeah, but that's where I
Oo.
think you should go now.
Oo. Actually, one of our business friends, sabi niya, the Caliraya area, the
Hmm.
villas are magkakalayo. Laging
Hmm.
puno every weekend. Kasi
Ayun,
nga,
ayun
it's
yun.
outdoors, it's just around the lake. Di ba dati, nobody looks at Caliraya anymore. Eh, ngayon, hottest place to go, no? And Eric actually has a contribution. I just want to reiterate that I never realized local Philippines was
Hmm.
like this. Local travel is my thing now. Batangas has waters like Boracay. I think you're talking about Hamilo Coast ba yan? Or Nasugbu?
Eh, si Eric naman
So,
kasi Eric takes beautiful pictures and videos. Kaya pag makita mo yung pinopost ni Eric, maengganyo ka talaga, di ba? And
Oo,
the
ganda.
proof, there's real proof that the beauty of the Philippines is not limited to Boracay.
Mm.
Although that's our crown jewel, obviously, like in the same way that El Nido is. But you don't have to take a plane. You can find so many beaches. I'm sure someone in Subic right now is really fixing up their beachfront, their villas,
Yes.
same as in Batangas, same as obviously in La Union, wherever, or Pangasinan even. No? I'm sure yung mga nasa Lingayen, nag-aayos na yan. So over the next couple of months, we'll see that. There's going to be a boost in Pangasinan tourism anywhere with the beach. Pare,
Oh.
importante yung beach. Ikaw, anong naramdaman mo? Nakita ka ng dalampasigan.
No, grabe. Hindi. Kami, of course, we loved it. Pero seeing our kids, grabe
Mm.
talaga no, nakita nila yung yung beach, going to the pool. And then maganda kasi pag you go to the beach, kayo lang yung nasa beach, alam mo yon, kayo lang yung nasa pool, etc. So it's really good. And ngayon, ang dami ngang, in Nasugbu. Yun, Eric was saying in Batangas, Tali, Calayo, Hamilo, Nasugbu, of course, no?
Mm.
Si Tina, for example, Tina Vidas, di ba, our friend. Nasa
Mm.
Batangas ngayon, Nasugbu. First time niya lumabas during the
Ah.
quarantine, going to the
What?
beach.
First time since March?
Oo, and first time niya makita ng beach, tuwan-tuwa siya, tingnan mo yung post niya. And yun, I think people are going to parang Airbnb places. Ang nangyayari ngayon, the Airbnb places, minsan pag kilala mo na, you call them directly, they book you directly there. So ganun talaga,
Mm-hmm.
private yung mga places. And then typically may kitchen. And then syempre luluto ka ng kitchen. So siguro there's opportunity actually, like when we were in Coron, no? Syempre halos lahat sarado. You cannot go down. Pero may delivery service. In Coron, dalawa lang yung restaurant na bukas. McDonald's and Poco Deli. Alam mo ba, pwede ka magpa-deliver sa Poco Deli doon. So mga pizzas and stuff, sausages. So
I know,
sana
because
yung
you're,
mga,
di ba, in-interview sila Poco Deli, di ba?
yes,
Parang, when
they're
the
doing
pandemic hit, they were there, so they said, let's stay here first. Manila will run itself, but let's make sure that Poco Deli in Palawan does really well. So they're doing well.
They're doing well. Sila lang nga,
Yeah.
ay Poco Deli lang or McDonald's. And nung hindi kami makababa no sa Poco Deli, nag-order kami. Ayo, can you deliver us pizza? Talagang di-deliver nila doon sa Sunlight. So that's actually very good, no? And sana, so one of the concern nila yung mga people in Batangas is that walang good food nga. Magdi-deliver lang, maybe shakies daw. Or you really bring your food, but you cannot go naman to the market. Nobody will go to the market for you. So lahat dinadala rin. Kaya nga, actually for the home-based entrepreneurs here or listening to us, there's really opportunity for mga picnic, mga picnic packs, di ba? Or something for travel or, when you go to all these destinations.
Hindi. I-suggest na natin formally yan para sa mga entrepreneurial, especially mga nasa bahay lang if you don't want to go out. There are so many people now who've not been in a supermarket since March of last year. They
Yeah.
all just order online. I think our friend Cyrene De La Rosa has not been out because her parents are seniors, right? She's being very careful.
Oh, wow.
Lahat kinikwento nila Richard at Erin. Cyrene lahat in order. Online lang. So why don't you, entrepreneur at home, create your own online delivery for picnic baskets or weekend hampers? Kompleto na lahat. Andun na yung cooking oil, asin. Alam mo yung parang ginagawa ni Chef Him? Chef Him Uy, di ba yun?
Him possible.
I'll tell you a secret, ha? Yung name na Him Possible, ako nag-suggest kay Him. So I'm very proud of that.
Talaga.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Him, pag may numamaramen class ka, hindi ako sasali pero gusto ko na ng ramen.
Oo nga. Ito, Eric was saying kasi we know a lot of friends who go to Punta Fuego also. Wala nga good food eh. So kailangan mag-order ka, you cannot go to the market. Sana meron nga for delivery around the area. Yun. Or you can order. Ang ginagawa ng iba, yun pa, kasi di ba during the lockdown, mga frozen food. Ngayon, yung mga frozen food, binibili kasi you'll go Like for example, this weekend is a long weekend, no? Feb 25, Thursday to the weekend
Oh yeah, you're
also.
right. Yeah.
So puro mga frozen food or ready to eat for picnics. Kaya ang ganda nga eh. I think so tama yung survey ng DOT. People will really travel nga kasi they want to be it's a solution for their sanity. But of course, they want to go in their own place, 'di ba? Parang sanitized place. Um that people choose Airbnb kasi lang they have a high standard of quality kung nasa Airbnb ka eh.
Yeah.
And then may kitchen na, you can cook. So, ganun talaga. And yun ang labanan. And it's really nice that for the first time, a lot of people get to discover Batangas, for example, di ba? And then Pampanga nga. You have to go to Pampanga, Mr. Spanky.
No, hanapin ko yung Florida Blanca. The Florida Blanca, it's not, should I call it an Airbnb? So it's like an Airbnb resort. Is really beautiful. I've seen the pictures. It's like magnificent, and it's so peaceful and calm. And again, all you see are fields, so you don't necessarily hear the sound of traffic off in the distance. And for 2 nights, that's all. You're literally back in the 19th century.
Oo.
Pero, pero, hulaan mo, lakas
Oh.
ng Wi-Fi. Lakas ng
Yun!
Wi-Fi.
Actually, I was
Oo.
going to say that. Kasi nga,
Hmm.
there's a trend na work from anywhere already.
Hmm.
And yung in Coron, ang bilis na ng internet. Alam mo, sa sunlight, ang bilis ng internet ah. So, you can really work there, no? Extend your travel, even in Coron. Now, some people going to Batangas, Punta Fuego, ang pangit daw ng Wi-Fi. So, I think those are sayang yung opportunity kasi, there are Airbnb places you can book for 1 month or 2 months, di ba? Why not? As long as the internet is good, we can do, things like this. So if you're telling me that Florida Blanca has a really good internet, that's a good
Hmm.
place to escape.
And I just read an article this morning that the Philippines is so proud that na tayo, we're now number 17 or number 7 fastest internet in Southeast Asia.
Talaga ba yan, ha? Talaga, ha?
Oh, pero number 17 or 7 para this is number 7. Or speed kuno is 22 Mbps. Ulol, 22 Mbps. Tapos makikita mo I think number 2 is Thailand, around 50 Mbps average, which I think is true. And but we're beaten by Laos, the tiny countries next to Vietnam. They're faster than us. So hey,
Yes. Oo nga.
whatever Senator Hunasan, Senator Hunasan is the one in charge now, right?
Oo, the ICT,
So
yes.
please make our internet faster.
Oo. Pero ang give up na nga ako sa mga ibang internet provider, no. Converge is doing their good job. Globe provided the internet in Corona. So congratulations to Globe. Ang bilis ng may fiber sa Coron. In Sunlight, it's Globe also, no. And that's really good. I don't know what PLDT is doing, no. And you get all the complaints on PLDT. Converge is Pampanga, di ba? And now in Laguna. So hopefully they expand their services talaga really soon. And kasi yun ang actually I really want to go like to a place to escape for a longer time, book the Airbnb for 1 month or 2 months. Hindi, 1 month naman siguro and then you move to another place, 'di ba? And I think a lot of people are doing that now. Si Eric Diata, Batangas hopping and Mindoro, no? Hindi na umuwi ng Manila 'yan.
Oh, I'll tell you, I have si Nell at si Georgia, kamag-anak ko. Nell works for a major international clothing company, no? International brand. Likewise with Georgia. So they're married. They're a married couple. They're from the same industry. But Nell has to report to office once a week.
Okay.
Georgia works from home, has to report because her company's principals are based in France. So she only has to report to work physically twice a month. They're both Kapampangan. So they noticed the past year, yung dalawang kids sila, si Atom at si Alba, 5 and 3 years old, parang nakakulong literally, nakakuwando sila di ba? Then there was one day, wala na magawa yung mga bata, nabuksan nila yung, hindi naman nakakatakot, it's a high window or a small window, nabuksan nila, and they got so bored, yung mga knick-knack sa taas ng mga TV, sa displays, parang sa shelves behind you, they started throwing it out. So pagpasok ng mga magulang nila, nasaan yung mga naka-display dyan, nandun na sa ground, wala na sila magawa. Wala na sila
Oo.
magawa. So now, since December, they've been going to San Fernando for weekends. Then nag-usap yung mag-asawa, sabi, kaya naman pala natin dito. So they rented a small house in the meantime. So
Oo.
the kids can have this beautiful playground, their whole village, fresh air, sunlight. They can play with their scooters, ride their bikes, and you can't do that in a condo. So
Exactly.
if you can do that, and if you have the capability, Pampanga is a good destination. It's so near,
Yeah. Gusto ko nga
especially especially
yes.
with the Skyway. So kung galing ka San Fernando, uwi kang Alabang, you can make it in an hour.
Yes.
Hindi man in an hour and a half. Oh, right?
So,
But still,
ako
that's
actually gusto ko nga sa Clark eh. Clark area Pampanga no. Naghahanap ako ng place. I think our friends from Hilton opened, 'di ba? But who else? What are the other options? Meron bang mga
yeah,
Airbnb sa Clark?
maraming bahay for rent. Marami
Okay. Pero may pool.
If,
Sometimes kasi minsan kailangan mo ng water element talaga eh.
pero kala mo sa Pampanga, ang yayabang ng mga tao doon, ha? We have pools. What size? How deep? Olympic size? With jacuzzi? Marami,
Yun.
marami. Oh, so
Okay.
yeah, if you're really intent on doing this, yeah, we can help you find the place there.
Yeah. Hindi, punta
So,
tayo,
ang dami.
Spats. Punta
Oh,
tayo.
ang
Try.
dami-dami yung magagandang small villages sa Angeles. And I'm talking about places like Carmenville. Ano lang yan, gitna ng Clark at Angeles City, malapit sa Porac, malapit din sa San Fernando. And those are beautiful places, open air. Hanap ka
Yes.
na may pool, hanap tayo.
Hanap tayo.
Alam mo kung bakit maraming bahay?
Bakit?
Ang dami-daming locators na Korean sa Clark. Umuwi
And
sila.
umuwi
So, umuwi
sila.
sila. So, maraming available.
Okay.
As a
Now,
matter of space.
that's
As a matter of,
interesting.
and Mega World did very well because they put up a new structure called Capital Town in San Fernando, Pampanga, which is the location right near the Capitolio, literally of the province of Pampanga. They did very well in terms of sales for the two towers that they're building. I think they're sold out now.
Okay.
Diba? So,
But,
gumagalaw yung economy.
but kamusta ang restaurant sa Pampanga? Can you do a food trip there? Baka sarado naman yung mga places.
They're open pero halimbawa,
Oo.
let me just talk about something that's very famous. Aling Milas
Okay.
sa Angeles, di ba? Home of the Tocino Barbecue, the Crispy Sisig. Wala silang dine-in ngayon.
Okay. So take out
So
lahat.
take out ka lang. Well, so I don't mind, you just take out the Tocino Barbecue, half cooked, you just grill it at home.
No, I think okay lang 'yun. Ayun nga eh. So, yun nga yung mga opportunity let's say on the Batangas side, no. A lot of people go to Batangas to go to the beach. Pero walang ma-orderan for delivery. You have to bring everything, no. But I think Pampanga offers that na ang daming for delivery, 'di ba? Within that area. You just need to have a home base, no, like an Airbnb or place in there. And then you can really eat good food at home, 'di ba?
No,
Without the
let me tell you. You know what's missing? You go to Pampanga, you don't know where to order. You have to go through Facebook or whatever, call your friends like me to know where. There should be a link between DOT or the LGUs. There's one site. If you're going to Angeles, check out the Angeles City site. Then all the restaurants are there. Updated, nandun number, lahat. Because if you're going to
Oo
do a
nga.
staycation, it's all there. So the LGUs in the DOT Region 3, for example, they have to do all this. Kasi
Oo.
this weekend, Saturday, may friend ako si John. The
Yes.
past week, nag-uusap ko na, Spanks, kailangan pumunta sa my wife wants to go out. She hasn't been out of Manila since the pandemic. I want to take her out. It's our anniversary. But her number one qualification has to be open air.
Yes, outdoors, no? Yun.
Outdoors, di ba? So, hindi rin ganun karami. Dahil, alam mo, kami sa Pampanga, mahilig kami sa aircon. Kasi, mayabang kami. Ayaw namin pinapawisan kami. So, wala masyadong open air. Unless
Oo.
sisigan, di ba? Unless sisigan.
Oo.
So they ended
Kaya,
up going to, you know where they
saan?
ended up going?
Where?
Abis Farm.
Wow, bukas ang
Oh,
Abis Farm? Sosyal.
yeah. And it's perfect, right? It's on open air, good
Perfect,
food.
yes.
Yeah. So if you're planning to go to on a road trip to Pampanga, Abis Farm from the LGC Group is alive and kicking.
Wait, Boss Raymond Magdaluyo. Wow. We're nagko-comment. And sabi niya, Milas in Nepo Mall is open. Yung
Oo
original
nga.
lang yung take out.
Oo. Yeah, nagbukas sila sa Nepo Mall.
That's
Pero kung
good.
takot ka sa mall, si
Hindi,
Ed
takot.
Bugia nagpunta siya. Si Ed Bugia
Oh,
dyan nagpunta sa mall. Oo.
talaga.
Hinanap
Oh,
niya. Yeah.
talaga. Pero nakakatakot pa rin kasi yung mall eh. I think, we're still in the pandemic, although we want to travel. So for example, no, I'll give you another example. When we were in Sunlight, um, meron yung breakfast. The breakfast, they follow all the protocols kasi it's parang in an inside structure. Even lunch, no? May mga acrylic dividers. Pero at night, they would do a outdoor buffet. Wala na yung acrylic dividers. Parang naglalak sila pag outdoor. So, I don't know. It's
Hindi.
kinda hirap pa rin, no? I mean, people talking near the buffet and then they're getting their food. So, I do hope lang all the resorts really follow, all the safety protocols, no?
Ano
Like
yan,
you,
ako lang. Sabihin ko lang, consistency is the key. That
oh,
is the way. Oh,
that is
para
the way.
Mandalorian. This is the way.
This is the way. Tsaka
Oo.
yung, for example, yung so kami, no, kwento ko lang, para people really follow, kasi there's a tendency na, let's say van, simple lang van. Yung driver, alam nila that the van needs to be 50% capacity,
Mm.
6 people to 7 people, so our family lang. Nung when we're in the van na, 6 na kami, di ba? Pwede na
Mm.
umalis. Tapos, pinapansin namin, bakit ayaw pa umalis? Eh, yung
Naghihintay.
nagdi-dispatch, gusto pa lagyan ng isa, dalawa, tatlong tao inside. So sabi ko,
Bubble nga
yung
eh. Punya.
bawal
Ano
nga eh,
yan?
di ba? So, may tendency yung mga ibang tao na gusto nilang magtipid siguro, gusto nilang i-shortcut yung system. So ang tagal namin maghintay, pero sabi ng driver, hindi pwede kasi 6 lang. So at least the driver knows, no, the rules.
Yeah.
Pero yung iba kasi, yun may tendency na, ay hindi, siksikan na natin ng 3 tao pa yan, pwede pa yan, naka-shield naman. Parang gano'n. So,
Ano yan? Parang ano
oo,
yan? Parang sa mga stasyon ng jeep, di ba? Yung mga barker. Waluhan!
oo,
Waluhan! Dalawa! Sige ka! Yung malaking puwet! Siksikli mo malaking puwet! Di ba? Malaking puwet! Lipat sa kanan! Pero
oo, di ba?
para alam mo, mas disiplinado pa yung jeeps ngayon kasi yung jeep, pare, yung linagay nila mga partitions. When I see jeeps, nakalagay talaga yung partitions.
Yeah,
Di ba?
oo,
So
di ba?
wala nang waluhan na kaya. Isa pa, isa pa, isa pa.
Oh, isa-isa pa, di ba? Dapat talaga i-follow nila
Bawal yan.
kasi alam mo, we just follow all the protocols. Okay naman talaga eh. Wala lang mag-fake ng swab test. Okay naman talaga eh, di ba? Yun lang. Pag minsan hindi na natin fina-follow and doon nagkakaroon ng problema.
You know,
So,
so balik ako sa ano, sige, kasi ikaw southern boy ka, ako northern boy.
oo. Sige,
Pare,
sige. Promote
ano ba
natin
yung
yung North.
ano ba yung term ng mga last year? Alam mo yung word of the year in 2020 was ano, pivot, right?
Oo,
That was
pivot.
the word of the year.
What's the word of the year this year?
The year before 2019, the word of the year was flex. Kung
Flex.
pagyayabang mo, di ba? Pare,
Oo.
flex ko lang yung ginawa namin ni Raymond. Magdaluya, Raymond's listening eh.
Oo.
Si Wolfgang, and Raymond's like me, we're cousins, we're both from Pampanga. And Wolfgang is now coming up with a dedicated catering truck for small, intimate groups that
Oo
will
nga.
serve
Wow.
Pampanga. And
Talaga?
it's amazing, man. Kasi nag-usap ko nila mo, tapos sila Lena, si Paula, and we set up some sort of a stress test for it
Okay.
alongside a pictorial. So we could test how well they could serve in Pampanga. And they come in. So we prepared one of my cousin's house, si JJ, sa Angeles, no, sa Carmenville. Nag-set up kami sa long table, tapos al fresco area. Wolfgang comes in, parang they swoop in with their truck, and everything's there, man. The linens, the centerpiece, the beautiful Wolfgang's wine glasses. They bring the wine, they bring the napkins, they bring the cutlery, everything. All you have to do is have a table, social distance, enough.
Nice.
But napaka-pulido kasi they ask how big the table is, where can we plug our for the circuit breaker, so everything they have to plug something. They come in and you have the whole Wolfgang's experience. From the appetizers, yung Caesar salad, yung bacon, yung malaking yung masarap na bacon ng Wolfgang's, crab cake,
Oo nga.
the steaks, and of course, the beautiful porterhouse steaks. Sinasabi nga ng pamangkin ko, ano yan eh, he's like 12, senior. Sabi niya sa daddy niya, how come we don't cook like this at home? Kasi first time eh. So you
Oo,
enjoy,
yes.
you know, for me, it's probably even better than going to Wolfgang's in New York. Kasi sa bahay mo eh.
Oo,
Di
correct.
ba? Alam mo,
Actually,
ang swerte nila. Tapos, hindi na, pati desserts kompleto. So you have the key lime pie, you have the pecan pie, and the New York cheesecake. It's the whole, and sorry, including the shrimp cocktail, the whole freaking Wolfgang's experience. And the
oo.
servers come in, they're socially distanced, they're wearing they're in full uniform with the masks and the shields. Everything's sanitized. Galing, galing. And
But
my cousins blown away.
yeah,
So you
just
know,
wanted to
no,
add,
no,
no?
no. Let me just finish. So
Okay.
that's where we will go. So the restaurants have to follow that example. Do micro catering. Fix up your micro catering because people will still a large percentage of people will feel safer. Not that they don't want to go out, but they'll feel safer at home. But
Yes.
imagine ako, halimbawa, mag-staycation ako sa Pampanga, I'll spend the weekend there, get an Airbnb. Nothing is stopping me from booking Raymond's Wolfgang's van.
Exactly. Oo.
So it's great, you know. You have all the amenities, all the benefits of being in Manila, but you're there in the province, in Florida Blanca, with the wind blowing in here. Parang nalasing kami nila Raymond. Kasi sarap eh. Amin na inom. Oh.
Oh, dapat nag-iimbita ka.
Mag-organize ka sa Laguna kung may truck ng ano doon.
Oo nga,
Di
sa
ba?
Laguna. Dapat may truck rin sa Laguna. Ito, stress
Yeah,
test natin yan.
remember nung unang nag-testing kami ni Raymond ng Wolfgangs. It's my birthday in 2019, remember?
Oh, yes.
You were there,
Of
right?
course.
So it was that experience, but even better kasi open air. Open
Pero
air.
may insight ako sa'yo. Okay. Kasi actually, we got a question during Valentines, no? The insight really, the micro catering kasi is really spot on. Pero what people are looking for are, kasi, like for example, the desserts mo order mo naman and stuff. What they're looking for is somebody to cook for them in the home. So, alam mo, yung may nagtatanong sa akin, ang top of mind lang talaga is si Wolfgang, no? And maybe the other one is maybe Bisu, no? And then wala na, di ba? Kasi, so ang tanong is, we want to celebrate with steak, pero ayaw ko lutuin yung steak. You don't want to get a steak kit and then ikaw pa magluluto. We want somebody to cook it for us and then ready na at home. And I think that's what the Wolfgang market really hit on, no? Pero yun nga, you're limited by the number of trucks, correct? I mean, you cannot do as many homes. How many homes ang ginagawa ng Wolfgang? One in a day? One or...
Well, of course, there's one or two in a day.
One or two lang, di ba? So, but I think there's a lot of demand for...
alam mo,
magkakagulo
yun sa Pampanga kasi nag-post lang kami ng mga pinsan ko para may booking na kami for May 1, sus Marioso, naingit na lahat eh.
Oo, syempre.
Wolfgang is gonna do very well. It's crazy. But yeah, to answer your question, if you want a personal chef, so unang-una, anong budget mo?
Oo. Yes.
Look, there's so many chefs right now who are willing to take on extra jobs. A lot of chefs work in a restaurant that is either closed or is in hibernation, and there's so many people. I mean, I can make a call now. I can put an Instagram post or Facebook post. We're looking for chefs for private dining. Even in our Resto PH Chefs Viber group, ang dami niyan. But you have to structure it. Hindi pa rin gusto ko magluto ng steak. You have to pay.
Oo.
How much are you, tanong ko, how much are you willing to pay? Oh, what do you think people are willing to pay for a chef?
Kasi even before pandemic, mga ano na yan eh, 2,000, 3,000 per head eh.
Ako, dapat 5,000. Kung magluluto lang walang ingredients minimum ko 5,000. Plus my grab or my gas allowance. And some families will be very strict kasi ayaw nila may ibang tao sa bahay. So, papaswab mo? Kung kaya.
Hindi, yun nga, kaya nga yung Wolfgang truck really make sense, di ba? Kasi you don't use the kitchen at home
Nope.
but you get the same cooking quality kasi nandun nga
It's
sa banyo.
basically contactless dining, di ba? Kasi
Oo.
parang kumain dito sa Wolfgang's kasi ang
Exactly.
sa podium, ang stricto So parang ganun din, malayo. So kung gusto niyo po ng private chef, naku, social yun naman, papaluto ka ng steak, kailangan pa ng private chef. Oh, Chef Mike Santos. Oh, Mike, anong mahal yan. Ang presyo ni Mike, isang sofa.
Isang sofa.
Pero yun lang, for me, that's your consideration. If you get a private chef, yeah, sure. But wag niyo naman baratin yung private chef niyo.
Oo.
Or, you know what, guys? Go to YouTube and learn how to cook a steak. Come on. Huwag na kayo mag-hire ng Or kung gusto niyo talaga ng restaurant quality pero hindi na kayo lalabas, mag-order ko kay Bambi.
Kay Bambi.
Yeah, that's the best. But yeah, try not to be, for me kasi dito sa bahay, hindi nagpapapasok ng taong iba. Diba? So, nung wala kaming katulong, dishwasher ako. So, that's fine. Right? Kung wala naglalaba, you help out, you bring out the garbage and all of these things that you do. But as much as possible, I'd still not recommend having someone there. Yung sa Wolfgang's kasi, nasa labas yung kitchen, di ba? They have their own kitchen.
Yes.
Papasok yung waiter with the food. They have their own cutlery. So, it's really, really very safe and sanitized. Pero kung magpapasok ibang tao, number one question is, sino ba yan? Hindi ka pa rin garantisado. So, go to YouTube or buy an air fryer. Diba?
Yeah, air fryer na yan.
Okay.
Oo. So, what to expect and where to go? We said Pampanga, Batangas,
the easiest,
Subic,
Laguna.
Subic,
Subic, Pangasinan. La Union.
Walang mga swab test yan, Walang mga swab test lahat. Pero alam mo, Tina said nung pumunta siyang Batangas may swab test So
baka
I don't
know. Depende
sa area.
Depende sa pupuntahan mo.
Oo, baka depende sa pupuntahan mo kasi I think ayun nga the LGU has their own requirements, 'di ba?
Yeah, so the LGU, if they want to really help the hospitality and tourism industry this summer, you have a month to go before it starts in earnest.
Pero and then yung mga travel bubble like Coron, sa Coron kasi there are two, Sunlight and Club Paradise, no? They do that travel bubble trips. In El Nido, Leo would have that also.
Leo is Ayala.
That whole El Nido thing. And then Boracay. Yung Boracay nga, yun lang ang question ko yung Boracay kasi nga a lot of people are going there. A lot of people are faking their PCR test. And then there are now mga press trips going to Boracay promoting it. So I'm not sure though kung marami ng tao sa Boracay with that tendency to fake the PCR test. I'm not sure whether that's the place to go.
I don't think it's I think that's exception rather than the rule.
Okay.
Diba? Parang sa lang yun, nung college tayo, diba? May mga gago kang kaklase, magdadaya talaga. Leakage, babayaran teach. Kami, UST kami. So may mga pwede kami pumunta sa Recto, lalakad lang kami, may merienda kami sa McDonald's, sa Moraita, bibili kami ng kung ano. Pati thesis na bibili mo. Kung thesis na bibili, ano ba naman punyeta yung RT-PCR? But don't fake it, So, whose job is it? So, you just have to be very strict.
Okay.
Ang dami-dami kasi ngayon mga online di ba? Mga apps. Every city now has their own app for travel or for contact tracing. So, why not, di ba? Use that. Pero huwag na kayo mandaya.
Oh, yun nga. So Eric D has a suggestion here. You should discuss the tracing programs that are useless because all the LUs come up with their own tracing programs, which defeats the purpose of getting some data. That's correct. Actually, when we were going to Coron, may trace app sila. Wala naman nangyari sa trace app kasi wala Wala. Disconnected rin with the main parang kanya-kanyang LGU, kanya-kanyang tracing.
Bakit ganyan? Ba't sila nagpapasikat? Kasi next year,
elections. Yan.
There you go.
Kanya-kanya nga. So bali wala rin nga yung mga tracing app, 'di ba? So and yung sabi nga nila sa Cebu, no, just going from the Cebu example, nasa modified GCQ sila and then at some point nung late December daw, tinanggal na yung mga tracing app, mga QR code, tinanggal na yung mga checkpoints. Kaya
Well,
ngayon,
that isn't that stupid? Not
yeah,
because your
that's why.
MDCK remove everything. That's ridiculous. That's dumb.
Oo,
Tanga
kaya nga
yun.
they're going back
Tanga na
to
yun.
stricter measures, 'di ba?
Ako pag mag-Manila tayo, if we are, kung totoo nga ang balita, that will be will be relaxing to MGCQ, nothing should change.
Dapat
Nothing.
pareho. Exactly. Oo nga,
Ang
dapat
gusto ko lang
pareho.
makita ng pagbabago, makakalabas sa mga bata, ang
Yes.
restaurants, mabubuksan hanggang 70% ng capacity. Yung hotels, pwede ka na mag-small gatherings or small events. Yun lang, open it up. I'm not even so hot about the movie theaters kasi ang gusto ko naman panoorin, James Bond, the Top Gun. O, October pa yung Top Gun. O, James Bond sa July pa. So, sa July na ako muna ng sine. Wala naman
Sa
magandang
July
sine pa.
lalabas.
Wala naman ibang magandang palabas sa sine this year. You just have to
Oo.
wait for James Bond. That's the 25th 007 movie. The title is No Time to Die. I think that's July.
Oo.
Top Gun 2, which has been delayed for almost 2 years, is supposedly October 21. So that's it. That's all you have to look forward to.
Oo.
I'm bugging the SM people. I said, you better open IMAX even for like 10 nerds who will want to watch Top Gun.
Oo nga, 'di ba? Dapat talaga ina cinema. So sabi ni Eric, just going back, no. Yun nga dapat safe pass pero wala nga naging centralized app. And even if you talk to Department of Tourism, sabihin lang nila it's all the LGU's execution, eh, 'di ba? Kanya-kanya talaga. And yun lang.
It's annoying, ha? It's annoying. Like, for example, you go to Makati, meron kang sariling, ano ba yun? Whatever app they have.
QR code,
If
oo.
you freaking go to the next city, which is Mandaluyong, and you have your own, then you go to
Oo.
Pasig, then, what the fuck, man? What the
Walang
hell is
kwenta
this?
nga eh, no? Hindi na lang
Alam
sinentralize
mo,
eh.
sinabi ko na sa guard, boss, ano na ako eh, naka-Nokia lang ako. O hindi kaya ng telepono ko yung mga ganyan. So, dali mo yung Nokia mo. Tapos mag-fill up ka na ng papel. Eh, paano ko yung iPhone mo, iPhone 4S, o di pa updated, o umandar pa yung 4S ko. Ako, yung ginagamit ko yung 6S. O, kung di ka naka-12, sabi, bakit hindi na compatible eh. iOS
Oo.
14 na yata yun eh. O,
Alam ng mga guard, alam ng mga guard.
parang hindi, yung sinasabi ni Eric, nakikipag-usap pa kami, seminar, this is the safe pass, ingat-angat, lahat-lahat. And then all the LG started popping up with their own. What the fuck is that? I don't know.
Oo. Ay nako, walang kwenta. Wala ngang kwenta. But anyway, that's the story.
Hindi, for me naman may kwenta. Okay sa akin contact tracing, pero just like to give an analogy, why should we have different, ano ba to? Easy trip passes and RFIDs for the different highways? Hindi ba? Parang
Oo.
walang sense eh. Why don't we have a centralized system where you can just travel from Baguio all the way down to Batangas City using one RFID sticker and
Yes.
one payment? Why the hell not? Mahirap
Yeah.
ba kayo mag-usap? Hindi ba nagkakaintindihan ni mga may-ari niyan? Isang phone call lang yan. Oh, Manny, pare, konyo, let's do this, dude. Oh, pwede na, di ba?
Pero I'm excited nga with kasi the Bangko Sentral has the National ID Initiative eh. And they were
Oh,
saying
what?
na
Ano yan? Communism yan. National ID na yan.
no,
What's the
it's
benefit? What's
ongoing.
the benefit
National
of national
ID.
ID? Everyone's
National
been trying to do
ID.
that. Panahon ni Gloria, ni Marcos, ni Erap. What's the point? We have our passport, we have our driver's licenses, we have our SSS. What's the point of a national ID? I don't know what the point is.
Oo. But ang plano nila,
Someone's gonna make money there.
yeah, of course, Bangko Sentral. Kaya nga Bangko Sentral nag-i-implement.
Not a believer in national IDs. I don't know why.
I don't know. Pero, if the underlying tech is centralized, I think baka that could help, no? In a
Alam mo
sense.
gawin niyo yung national ID system, Facebook. Total, sinusundan tayo ng Facebook. Sa mga Gen Z, TikTok yung national ID.
At
Oh.
TikTok yun.
Millennial, Instagram. Oh, tapos sa Gen X, Facebook, sa seniors, baby boomers, Viber, doon sila eh. Oh, yun yung
Oo.
national ID system.
And
Huwag ka na maging doon.
hindi lang national ID to, ah. Um, Sabi nila, or at least the plan is to link it up with meron kang, everybody will have a land back ID para everybody can transact digitally. So,
Uh,
I mean, let's see how
yeah,
that goes, 'di ba?
I think that's bullshit. If they really wanted that, it'll take a lot of political will. I'm telling you, man, panong even the time na Fidel Ramos, they've been wanting to do that since the 90s.
Oo.
It's just a way to make papogi. If you really want to do it, then do it. Pero wag lang wag kayong mag-float ng idea parang that stupid seat, car seat law na hindi naman napag-aralan lahat ng IRRs, ng implementing
Oo,
rules and
wala
regulations.
namang kwenta.
Ano nga, di atras ka rin, tapos yung pagsarehistro ng kotse, marami ka na daw, hindi na daw bawal yung ganito. Atras din. Anak ng tinapa. Come on. Guys,
Okay.
we need smart president, smart leadership, better congressman, better senators next year.
Yeah, and
Otherwise,
let's do that
otherwise
campaign,
we're still
Spanky. Oh.
talk like this again.
Oh, I
Ganito lang.
mean,
6 years from now, we're gonna blah blah blah. We don't know what's happening. Holy shit, man.
yeah. And
Wait, I have a question for you. Sige, speaking of
go.
politics, nakita mo ba si Gibo Chodoro, binuhay na ang kanyang kampanya?
Talaga. Paano binuhay? Sige nga, kwento mo sa amin.
Gilbert's been he's been very active we're friends, we're Facebook friends. I'm sure he doesn't know me, but we met once. I added him, he added me. So, but lately, his official Gilbert Gibo Chodoro page is now he's officially, you go look at it now.
Naging active na ulit.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, meron ng campaign poster. I don't know for what position, but he's there. Is he running
Okay.
for a national position, a local
Baka.
position,
Oh.
executive, legislative? I don't know. But
Wait,
no, the only
pag-usapan natin
reason
yan.
that no.
Pag-usapan
Let
natin
me
yan.
just finish it. The reason I'm saying this is the game has begun. The game is afoot.
Yes.
Umpisa na,
Agree.
umpisa na,
O, di
umpisa na.
ba? Wait, Joanne Lim says hi. TikTok. And Chef Archie, thank you for listening, Chef. Nasa ka ba, Chef? Nasa New Zealand ka ba or nasa Manila ka? So, I mean, elections, no? Nakita mo na elections, di ba? People were talking about Lenny, kung tatakbo siya, or even, Manny Pacquiao, etc. And nagsisimula na. And I think yung our discussion nga before, let's do a voter education for the young people to sign up and really, hopefully, change the direction of our politics.
Yeah. Oh, medyo na ko yan. Unang-una, paano makaka-sign up sila kung hindi nila alam paano mag-sign up? Pangalawa, pwede ka ba mag-sign up online? Hindi, di ba? Kasi marami ngayon. May facial recognition, may thumbprint. So, hindi pa oras. So, I don't think we'll get traction for the youth to be able to register, especially for the first-time voters, until such time that we are able to allow them to physically go to a COMELEC registration center. And what the COMELEC did in the previous elections was to have them in malls. Papapasukin ba sila sa malls? Yun yung mga tanong eh.
Oo,
Di ba?
mga tanong,
So,
yes.
but obviously they're 18 years old, but can they go out? Can they be, I don't know yet. But you have to make it easy. I'm not gonna send an 18-year-old to a government office now. Shit, no way. Di ba? So dapat they should reassure the parents that these registration centers are very safe. That's number one for me. That's number one. Kasi
Yeah.
kailangan ng thumbprint eh. Ang pagkaalam ko, kailangan ng thumbprint. Di ba? Tapos na pa
Mm.
siguro. So, I don't know. We have, but the problem with us is we're manana habit people. That's the nature of the Filipino beast. Di ba? Pwede na yan, bukas na, tomorrow na yan. So it's already March in 10 days. Right?
Yes. Oo.
So after that, March in 10 days means the elections are only 14 months away. So we have to do it now. But as to how who's running, I tell you, they will not show their cards until the last minute because they all learned from President Duterte.
Oo, surprise yan. Pero si Lenny, ano
Surprise.
sa tingin mo kay Lenny Robredo?
I don't think she'll run. That was never her ambition, right? It was her husband. It was Jesse Robredo. He
Oo.
was the man who was supposed to be president by now. By now.
Oo
Kasi
nga, yes.
nung administration ng Pinoy, ang iniisip ko na, it's either Mar or Has. If all they got their shit together between 2010 and 2016, it would easily be Mar who's president. Or
Mm.
Jesse Robredo. But Jesse died tragically, in a plane crash.
Yes.
And Mar Rojas, whether fairly or unfairly, was crucified after what happened in Tacloban for Yolanda.
Yeah.
Not to mention the mess in the LTO at the time with Junjun
And the
Abaya. So all of these
LRT.
things, it's all perception. It's all perception. So right now, it's too early to it's too early to throw your hat into the ring, if you will. But for me, I'm just very curious, and I'm looking at this from a political, as a student of politics, and as a fan of politics and campaigning. How Gibo said, "Sige, I will now do this."
That's good. I
Because
mean, that's
look
good
at the
news.
speech. It's campaign. It's basically a campaign poster, creating recall already.
How about Ping Lacson? Ano sa tingin mo?
I don't know. Is she still around? I haven't heard about Ping Lak in a long time. I don't know.
Manny Pacquiao.
Who's that? He wants to fight. He wants to fight for a 40 million bout. He's supposed to be fighting soon. Hindi sila magkasundo that he wants fucking $40 million. So maybe he's
Siyempre,
gonna run.
election.
What exactly? So why are you needing $40 million?
Okay. Isko
No, I
Moreno,
haven't.
they're pushing your mayor.
I'm pushing Isco. So I don't know. It's too early. I don't wanna say anything. Pero nakikita ko it has to be ang dapat technocrat talaga eh. Diba?
Uh, Ramon
So,
Ang.
well, I'm an RSA fan.
Oo, ang
Diba?
galing. Galing ni
Pero
RSA.
ako, as much as possible, I don't wanna say anything if it's too early kasi babatikusi ka na tao eh. The greatest enemy we have now as a nation, as Filipinos, is social media. That's where all the shit happens. That's where all the stupidity is. That's where all the lies are thrown on, and there's all the untruths become truths. Half truths become facts. It's ridiculous. I hate ako. Dati, minsan nagkikipag-engage pa ako pag may mga mali-maling isip na nagko-comment. Inaaway ko
Mm.
pa. Sabi, wala, it's useless. But
Oo.
you open up this space, which is the essence of democracy, and that's fine. But if you're dumbing down, if you are dumbing down the voters, and they come out with stupid arguments and become polemic arguments, argumentum ad hominem, against the people instead of the fact, then it's useless. And that's what Facebook is now. Di ba? Dapat kung pwede ko lang patayin yung comment section. Basahin mo lang yung mga sa
Oo.
Rappler, sa Philippine Star, sa Inquirer. Ay nako, yung comment section sasakit ulo mo. And that goes to show, you give people too much freedom, di ba? What happens?
Oo.
To use an analogy of a hangman's noose, you give them too much rope, they hang themselves with the rope. And that's what's happening now with all of this free speech. And which is why just to give you, kasi I don't want you to discuss this, just to segue. Alam mo ba yung gaano kababa yung number of people who want to get vaccinated? We're at 40%.
Oo nga. Ano ngang nangyari dyan?
Ano nangyari? Dengvaxia. It's a direct result. Remember, this is the story very quickly. Ang Dengvaxia, it was launched by the Department of Health, by Secretary Guarino, then the DOH Secretary, in the last months of the Pinoy administration. Kasi nagkakaroon ng dengue, di ba? Ang daming dengue.
Mm.
Ang nangyari, nagkalat ng balita that there were a couple of kids who died because of Dengvaxia, the vaccine. Yung Dengvaxia vaccine, you have to take 3 shots over the
Oo,
course of,
yes.
I think, 3 months, di ba? And but this was never fully substantiated. There were comorbidities, there were other factors as to why the kids died. Ang PR or operational mistake ng Sanofi nun, they pulled out Dengvaxia. So instead of fighting the battle or justifying what the vaccine is, they pulled out. So that created the impression of flight. Diba? So parang guilty ka. Tumalis ka dito. Ayaw mo nang i-face the head on. And you know what happened then? There were some people, I just won't mention them, who took this issue and ran with to make themselves very popular. And they were so noisy on social media. They were so dramatic. Anong ginawa ng sana? Umalis sila. At the same time, Sanofi was leaving the Philippines and taking the Vaxia along with them. Then Vaxia was being approved in the European Union and in the United States by 2018 were their use today. So we're one of the countries that has the most incidents and the greatest danger of dengue. We don't have the freaking vaccine because people created fake news. And that's what I'm worried about now for the vaccines. Dahil sa impact, ang dami-daming anti-vaxxers na yun who don't have a full list of the facts. Eh sabi, naku, yung vaccine, mahirap yan. Kasi naalala nila yung vaccine. Oh, hindi naman to dengue eh. Di ba? COVID to eh. So that's the problem. And how did this lie propagate? Social media. That's the
Yes.
problem. So the war, and going back to the elections next year, where will be the war? It won't be there in the streamers, the posters, not in Plaza Miranda or in the town hall. So it's gonna be in social media. So let's see. So opposition, whoever it is, you better get your act together because you will win this battle not there with your stump speeches, not with your ads on TV. You will win it on social media. That is
Mm.
the battle. So I
Pero
don't know.
tama rin. Yeah, maganda yung discussion sa vaccine. With Chef Jessie nga, na napag-usapan namin yan. Sabi niya, ayaw nga niya, no, magpa-vaccine nga. Pero sabi niya, it came to a point, si Pope nga nagpa-vaccine eh. And
No, no.
is the
Why
Catholic.
why is Jeff Jesse reluctant to have the vaccine?
Just the ingredients, there's a lot of 'di ba, ingredients in and then of course all these stories about the vaccine. Pero she was convinced nga when the Pope and the church, actually a lot of the bishops and a lot of Pope is really pushing for vaccines, and she was saying in the past the Catholic Church were against vaccines but not particularly for itong coronavirus. They're really promoting vaccine. So hopefully
So why
that
was the Catholics?
translates
I'm
for
sorry,
promotion.
but why the hell were we opposed to vaccines? Does it cause abortions? Why? I
No,
don't know.
may laman daw ng mga animal DNA or something. Parang ganoon. That was
Mm,
the story.
no, 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 no.
So
Yun nga eh. That's my point. We're listening to stories eh. Instead of listening
yes.
to stories, let's
Oo.
find out anong problema ng mga tao ngayon. Binabasa lang headline eh.
Exactly. Oo.
Diba? I read because I write, no? And I have to research. I read the freaking last sentence of any article that's about the vaccine or whatever.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be misinformed by a stupid headline. And that's what's happening now.
Question on vaccine. Would you go for the traditional vaccine where they would put in a sample of the virus into you, or the modern vaccines like Moderna and Pfizer, which is based on
Ano lang
mRNA?
ako. I'm going for Pfizer, baby. Makers of Viagra and Advil. I trust Viagra. I trust Advil. I'm done. What the hell does Sinovac make? I don't know. Pero,
So,
alam mo, whatever will help. If you believe in Sinovac, as many countries in Asia do, no? I think Indonesia is using Sinovac. Go.
Indonesia is promoting Sinovac.
Yeah, and we don't hear a lot of crisis in cases in China, and they're all obviously been turok by Sinovac. Then ayoko lang kasi it's really more of a belief that stupid virus came from your country and you're giving me the virus. Parang it's also convenient. So for me, in my conspiracy theory mind, ayoko sa'yo. Di ba? Pero
Oo.
mali mo, dahil, di ba, palaging plotline sa science fiction yan sa Netflix eh. Yun na James Bond, kalaban ni Ethan Hawke sa mission pa, I'm gonna make a virus, spread it the world, and then I'm gonna sell the vaccine, you know? And maybe it's China, but sounds like a North Korean plot though. Pero ano ko, Pfizer, ano pa ba yung iba mga Pfizer? Moderna. There's one more. The one that starts with the letter A.
So AstraZeneca. So yun, tatlong
Yun.
pero
Gusto
yung
ko yun.
Astra kasi recently hindi daw effective with the new variants eh. So I think
I don't believe those kasi parang I don't think they have enough evidence. That's just one incident. Parang sa Finland, namatay ho yung mga seniors. Syempre namatay sila kasi mamamatay na po sila talaga. They're on the deathbed. You have to read the whole story eh. Pero all the facts, you can't just rely on the story. Madaming stories eh. Diba? But you get one story that will tell you the truth. That's my advice. So if you're gonna get AstraZeneca, or what's coming up, Johnson and Johnson is supposed to have a really, really good vaccine that doesn't even need refrigeration.
oo.
Maybe,
Pero
but
traditional vaccine rin daw yun eh.
I don't give a shit what this. If it's gonna help me get away from COVID, then I'm good with it.
Pero ang sabi nila sa Sinovac is that you have to think about it. The Pfizer and Moderna supply is controlled by 10 countries. And the reason we're going with Sinovac, that's really what's available to us, no? Nearer to
Oh,
China, nearer to
China have been courting China for the past 6 years. That's the only reason. Come on. That's
May
it.
nakakaaliw si Spanky. Iris
Oh, wala naman
Casual.
ibang rason. Mariosep.
Oo nga.
I
So,
don't
and
even
then,
believe that. Look, the rich countries will be more than willing. Look, Israel's almost finished, di ba? Sa States,
oo,
lahat ng healthcare
grabe, no?
workers frontliners,
Grabe, Israel.
they will help us. They'll help the poorer countries like us. But here's the fact. Here's the very sad part. Not zero frontline workers in the Philippines, healthcare workers have been vaccinated. Zero. Oh, ano na?
Grabe,
Oh,
no? Grabe nga.
ano yun? Well, hello. You,
And,
who do you blame? Well, I leave that question up to you. But as of
up to you.
now, it's February 20, year of our Lord 2021. Not a single doctor, nurse, medtech person in the Philippines has been fully vaccinated. Nada. Nada. Why is that? We're not even third world. We're fifth world. It's
And
ridiculous.
tama na-mention mo Israel, no? We have Philippines has a really good relationship with Israel, and hopefully, they extend some help even to our frontline workers, di ba? Once they
Sabi
finish
ng
all their population.
Israel, are you circumcised? Yeah, if you're circumcised, we'll give you the vaccine. Yung mga style dyan.
Ganyan mga style dyan. Okay.
Mm.
So, maybe, we can talk to the Pfizer, meron bang mga spokesperson niya? Maybe you
Alam
can
mo,
talk to them
no,
about
I
this
can
later.
talk, I can introduce you to the Sinovac people.
Kilala mo sila? Sige, why not?
Yeah,
Let him straight from the source, di ba?
guys, we talk. They made the presentation to us to Resto PH. So the importer who's also he's been in the vaccine business in the Philippines for decades. So he's not just coming in like those hang the face shield resellers. No, he's been in the vaccine business for decades.
Okay.
And he has very reputable doctors. And when you should, I'll find out. I should introduce you. You should guest him. Very educational. At the end of the day, I think all of these vaccines will work, right? But it's
Sabi
your
nga
choice.
nila at least hindi ka mamamatay if you have the vaccine.
Oh, di ba? Yun ang sinasabi ko palagi. Anong side effect pag hindi ka magpa-vaccinate dahil anti-vaxxer ka? Isa lang ang side effect eh. Magkaka-COVID ka. Oh, yun lang. Oh. Pero baka Anton, ito lang. Punto ko lang sa'yo. We were all expecting after the translasyon. Kaya po, January 9, nakita mo yan, di ba? Ang dami-daming tao, hindi sila
Oo, ang daming
nakamask,
tao.
dikit-dikit sila. We were really expecting a bloom in cases by the end of January or the 1st of February. We're all at them almost at the end. Hindi nangyari. So
Pero
hindi
sabi
yung
naman
joke.
ng Quiapo, it's a miracle naman talaga that incident.
So, hindi ba yun yung joke? Sabi yung joke nga doon, bakit ka pupunta sa Quiapo para sa Nazareno? Oo nga, magdadasal ako para hindi ako magka-COVID. Kahit maraming tao. Anong nangyari? Hindi nga sila nagka-COVID! Pare, next year, punta kayo sa Quiapo. Oh,
Uh,
Nazareno, works.
oo nga,
Di
it
ba?
works.
Hindi
Mas
talaga.
nag-work kaysa dun sa mga pumunta ng Sinulog siguro, no? Kasi
Yeah.
Cebu,
But then kami, we were so concerned about kasi para I live near Quiapo. Yung bahay ko malapit sa Quiapo.
correct.
Pag
Oo
sa
nga.
Quiapo, pag January 9, pinapatay nilang cell signals kasi before the threat was terrorism, right? You could detonate a bomb using your cell phone signal. So the past 5 years, wala nang ganun. Walang cell phone signal for like 24, 36 hours. Ngayon yung threat mo, COVID. Wala nagka-COVID.
Oo nga.
You know, there really is a miracle there in Quiapo. I'm not kidding. You know,
Meron,
we
oo,
can.
may miracle. I think that's really a miracle also. And
Uh,
let's close the vaccine and hopefully we get a lot of these vaccine players. Meron pa actually isang vaccine player, the biggest vaccine manufacturer is Sanofi, no? And they're still preparing their vaccine, no?
well,
So
Sanofi Dengvaxia thing, you mean?
oh, yes, yes, of course. They're the
So,
biggest vaccine player, ah.
we go full circle. So, huwag kayo maniniwala sa fake news. Huwag kayo maniniwala. Kasi kung it will save your life, tapos nakasalayo lang yung belief system mo sa fake news, well, that's really
Oh.
dumb.
And Sanofi said they're really making sure na this will be effective. So they're taking their time and they can produce a lot. So I think there will really be a point na, we'll have all these vaccines. And I think we really need to have education. Thanks for bringing that up. Maybe we can talk to the Sinovac and maybe Pfizer, yung mga available here in the Philippines para we can,
Um,
um, you know, uh, help in the vaccine education in Manila.
actually,
Okay,
so,
Papa.
I will introduce you to the Sinovac people.
Okay.
Naalala mo, nag-guest si Stella C sa atin nung pandemic,
Oo, yes.
ECQ. Stella
Oo.
knows them. I'll tell Stella.
Sige, sige, please. All right. So vaccine or no vaccine?
Ikaw, anong vaccine mo kung pwede ka? Kung meron na. Mas nawala yung voice mo.
Sorry, Moderna sana, but I think Moderna hindi abot ng Philippines eh. So it's controlled by a few countries. And then they don't have the facilities to really operate it. Pfizer pa, pwede yung Pfizer meron, 'di ba?
Gusto
But
ko yung
will be
Pfizer.
limited. Will be limited.
You know, ako, if I were Pfizer, that's going to be my marketing spiel. Hey, if we were to cure, if we were able to make a dead penis come to life, right? We can make you survive. Oh,
Tapos,
yan, ganyan.
kasi ikaw
Yun
ang
na, yun yung
influencer.
marketing. Oo,
Kasi ikaw
ano.
ang influencer.
Di ba? Viagra saved a lot of marriages.
Okay, wait. Eric has a statistic, no? Out of 4,000 employees, we only have 200 people willing to do it. Only if they don't have to pay for it. Yun nga eh, the vaccine education nga, a lot of people don't want to have vaccine in Manila.
Hindi lang sa foodie group yan, Eric, kasi we have been doing the surveys among the big chains like Foodie, among the restaurant owners sa Resto PH, pati sila Vikings, ganun. Ang daming ayaw magpa-vaccine. Ang sama ng education natin. Ako no-brainer eh, di ba? Pa-vaccine ka kasi ba't hindi ka magpapa-vaccine? Ano kinakatakot mo? Sanggol ka ba na may dengue na naniniwala ka sa fake news? My God. And the Foodie will pay for your vaccine. You will not pay. Sila Eric will pay for it. What the hell is the hesitation? So vaccine education for me is the key thing moving forwards.
Wait, hindi mo yata nasabi, anong word for 2021?
Oh, wala pa.
Akala ko meron ka na.
Yung
May,
basta Flex was 2019, Pivot was 2020, 2021. Sabi no.
hindi mo pa alam.
Hintayin
Oh, sige.
natin.
Hintayin
Hindi
natin.
hintayin natin panoorin sa TikTok.
Oo.
Sa mga influencers.
Kamusta ba si TikTok Philippines? What's the latest? O wala.
Wala pa mga kumag yung mga yun eh. But here's what we're gonna do. A Filipina who's a friend of a lot of our common friends. You might even know her, but I don't really know her.
Okay.
She's just been installed as the global communications director for TikTok. Global. She's based in Toronto, in Canada.
All right. Hopefully.
Oh, so sabi ko kay Joko, kaibigan ni Joko, asawa ni Jeeps, diba? Joko,
Talaga.
naman. If she's not too busy, maybe send her an email that we need to talk to her people here in her native land, the Philippines, because there's
Oo.
so many stupid, idiotic TikTok people here who are using that channel to make videos that are even worse than what good old Chuck and Joe made.
Tama
Basura
yan.
eh. Ang mga, nakita ba yung ginawa nila? Yung kumakain sila sa Samgyeopsal restaurant,
Mm.
di ba? Bawal leftovers. So they're using the vacuum that extends down from the ceiling to suck up the bits of meat on the grill.
Damn. Wow.
Hindi ba ngayon, o tapos sinasabi na sa TikTok, hoy, pull down niyo yan. No, you have to talk to the TikTokers. What? Don't you have any measures against this? Like Facebook, you play an Earth, Wind, and Fire song while you're making a selfie vlog, they'll mute it, right? They have every right to control what's on their channel. But they're all wimps so far. They're very wimpy. So that's our ongoing battle, TikTok. So hopefully now a Filipina is holding one of the highest positions in the global
That's good.
TikTok hierarchy, and maybe she can help because it's all about the content. You know what they say about TikTok? It's a beautiful platform. It's wonderful. But the content, so much of the content is crap.
Oo.
Diba? Totoo eh. Alam mo yun, di ba? Oh.
Yes.
So hopefully, no.
Okay.
We get
Hopefully.
that.
Oo. Balitaan natin yan. One last on the vaccine, no? Eric said, we'll top off our deliciously safe campaign by having our staff as fully vaccinated venue.
Yeah. Eric, I'm looking forward to that. That's the best. Oh.
That's the best, no? I mean, tama.
Ba't ako, kakain sa restaurant na, ang sarap doon ng feeling ko eh. Alam mo yung na-miss ko sa restaurant? I'm looking forward to 6 months from now. Hopefully, may nag-vaccinate tayo. You go to a restaurant, and you see your server smiling again. It's very hard. I'm sure Foodie Group, all the big chains, ang instruction nila sa servers nila, even if you're wearing the mask, even if you're wearing the shield, make sure your eyes are smiling. Make sure you're all smiling. Because it's their
Oo.
training eh, di ba? And even
Correct.
the servers, pag pausap ko sila, nahihirapan sila eh. Di ba, una, they're muffled, they're layers, they're like literally 4 layers between you and the person in front of you, your guest. And a lot of it for me is, you know what they say, right? We go to the restaurant for the first time because of the food, but we keep on going back because we love the service.
Yes.
And
And
when
ambiance.
Eric and the foodie group are able to do this already, then I can go to a restaurant confidently because I'm vaccinated. They're vaccinated. Everyone in the kitchen is vaccinated. We can all smile at each other. That's going to be a beautiful day.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
Pero the restaurant industry won't implement a vaccine passport naman, no? Kasi I think in the travel, they won't do that eh.
Well, we're thinking about it. It's one of the things that are being
Discussed, no?
bandied about. Yeah, it makes
Oo.
sense. It makes sense, but I don't know how implementable that is.
Okay.
Ang daming
All
factors. Ang daming factors.
No, that's interesting. So, all right. Medyo matagal na yung kwentuhan natin. Let's close this discussion. I think one of the things, or do you want to add anything before we close this?
Commercial. Kasi meron akong dalawa.
Oh, ano
Sa
commercial?
February 24, 3 p.m., we're doing a free webinar regarding, again, food and beverage hosted by the Discovery Hotel Group. So it's going to be in the Discovery Hospitality Corporation Facebook page. You just look for Discovery Hospitality. And, our guests are Adolf Aran, our friend Adolf, CEO of Courage Asia,
Woohoo! Woohoo!
F&B retail specialist, David Pardo, Chef David Pardo de
Of
Ayala, Chef
course, yes.
and GM of Discovery Primea, and Chef, my cousin, Chef Sau de Rosario. So we're going to
Yeah,
talk about how we continue bouncing back. I'll be hosting, and I'll probably
you're
be,
hosting it. All
I'll
right.
host it.
All right. We'll watch that from our Discovery friends, no? That's
Mm.
really good. So, what
So,
else? What sabi mo dalawa?
nag-launch na kami ni Tatong ng aming bagong web series. We put
Okay.
up a new channel called Happiness. Hapinas. It's under Simple. So you'll see all our content on the Simple channel of Tatong. And happiness really is basically it's our Bourdain show. So we travel around,
Nice.
we talk to the chefs, and we're not doing the whole. Alam mo marami ganyan yung pinakasikat yung mukbang,
Oo.
di ba? We want to put more substance and give due credit and respect and honor our friends in the restaurant industry. There's one episode now. It was uploaded last night. You know Kian Kazemi sa Kite.
Oo, yes.
I'll send you the. It's beautiful. You know, I think we have one of the best cinematographers in the business. So what I can guarantee people is you're going to get a short 5 minute segment on your favorite restaurants. We're going to talk about the food, but more importantly, you're going to get to know why it's there and the people behind it. And that for me is
Nice.
goes a long way. So
Oo,
go look for it.
congrats. Congrats. Na-launch na ba 'yan? Hindi pa?
Yeah, it's already in the Simple channel. We've covered Kian, we've covered King Chef. Ivan Mandy was my guest for Jade Garden. Next
Nice.
week we're premiering the video that we shot for Commune with Ross One.
Nice.
At saka yung
Oh,
coverage natin hindi lang pagkain like si Ross One. Sino bang one of the
oo.
leading like frontline feeders nung kasagsagan ng pandemya?
Of
Nung,
course. Yeah, we
sure.
won't forget. We won't forget.
So we
Sama
talk
mo
about,
naman daw si Eric. Sama mo rin
of
naman si
course,
Eric. Of
of course,
course.
for sure.
The
Sa
foodie
Batangas
group.
tayo mag-shooting, Eric.
Okay. Yung
Kasama si
ano, okay, ako naman meron akong pinapanood na meron tong from the Icarus Theater Collaborative, Being Sophia. Napanood mo ba to? It's
Oh, I watch dumb shit, you know that.
no, but this one is a Filipino production, theater production. Pero parang
Okay.
death series. So episode 1 to 5. Yung 1, 2, 3, it talks about, yung mga kabataan, what they talk about influencer during this pandemic. Ang ganda. It's called Being Sophia. Yung episode 1 na release na up to 3, you can go to Ticket to Me, 100 pesos per episode. But the reason I'm mentioning this, they're releasing episode 4 next week, Feb 27. And nung una, hindi ko pinapansin yung web series na to. But once you watch the episode 1, 2, and 3, you get hooked to the characters, no? Parang mga young Filipino, Gen Z, talking about life during the pandemic. Ang galing. I mean, for parents or for people, just for learning what this online learning, this pandemic is doing
Yogi.
to our generation, di
Yeah,
ba?
si Yogi sa likod mo. Para kang BBC. Ganda ng buhok ni Yogi.
Oo nga. And then, so, guys, check that out. Being Sophia, episode 4, hanggang 5 siya until March. And then, siguro, last lang to close our episode, is that, we'll do our first Clubhouse
Oh, yeah.
podcast. What do you think, Spam?
Next week yun, pag-usapan natin yung Clubhouse. Kasi hindi ko pa natatry eh. Di ba? Ayusin natin, try natin.
So we'll do our Manila podcast in Clubhouse. Sino ba may mga Clubhouse dyan?
Pwede ba yun?
Ha?
Pwede ba yun? Or pag-usapan. Sige, ako.
Hindi.
Tawagan ko na si, kung magka-Clubhouse tayo, tawagan ko si Elon.
Oo, di
So,
ba?
Elon pare, gumisi ka maaga. Elon Musk, Tesla.
Oo. So, yung may Clubhouse accounts dyan, let's listen to us on Clubhouse. If you need invites, call Spanky.
Wala. I'll call Elon. Paring Elon.
Paring Elon.
Yeah, bigyan mo kami ng
Alright. Thank you so much, Spanky. Nice to always talk to you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. So, dapat next Saturday, hindi ako gagawang lakad. Pwede. Ano naman tayo, more or less, ito na yung schedule natin, Saturday nights na.
Oo, and ano ba next week? Feb 27, the last weekend of Feb.
Oo. Sige. Hindi naman tayo nabusa na pinag-uusapan eh.
Hindi, no, it's good.
Pag wala tayong mapag-usapan, pag-usapan natin si Sharwin, si Richie, si Ed Bugia.
Pag-usapan natin yung mga chefs. Oo nga.
Mga chef. Maraming chismis doon eh. Maraming story doon.
Chef episodes.
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Especially to Eric. Thank you for all your comments.
Oo.
And to Bambi, if you're there, Raymond who was here earlier, salamat ng marami sa inyo lahat.
And Chef Mike, of course. Chef Archie for listening.
Yeah,
All right.
dami puro chef. Sige. Salamat ng
Oh,
marami.
thank you. Maraming salamat.
Mag-ingat po kayo and we'll see you next Saturday. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night.